My wife took our kids to my favorite restaurant on Father's Day, so I walked out. We've been married 15 years, and we have 3 teenage daughters. Lately, I don't feel like a husband or a dad. I feel like a walking wallet. I work long weeks, pay the bills, and do the driving. I keep it calm in this house. No yelling, no threats. I just try to show up. But my wife acts like I'm not there. She hasn't kissed me in 8 months. She hasn't said, "I love you," in over a year. If I try to talk, she says she's tired and keeps scrolling. If I suggest a date, she shuts it down. If I sit close, she shifts away. The girls talk to me, but it's mostly needs. Can you drive me? Can I get money? Can you order food? I told myself it was just teens being teens and a rough patch in marriage. So I tried. I asked for one family dinner a week with no phones. They agreed, then stared at their screens anyway. I asked my wife to try counseling. She went twice and quit. She said the therapist was on my side. After that, every time I brought it up, she rolled her eyes and said, "Not this again." Then Father's Day happened. I woke up at 9 a.m. to an empty house. No card, no note, no text. The calendar on the fridge had nothing on it. I waited, thinking they were planning a surprise breakfast. By 11, I couldn't take it, so I texted my wife, "Where is everyone?" An hour later, she wrote, "Spa day with the girls. Don't wait up." That was the whole message. No happy Father's Day. Nothing. I sat there all day with my phone in my hand, waiting for one of my daughters to remember. They're 17, 15, and 13. Not a single text came. At 7 p.m., they walked in laughing with shopping bags. I said, "Hey." My wife walked past me like she didn't hear it. I asked what they wanted for dinner. She finally looked at me and said, "We already ate." I said, "Where?" She said, "That Italian place you love, my favorite restaurant, on Father's Day, without me." My chest went tight. I waited for someone to say sorry. Nobody did. My youngest went straight to her room. My middle daughter said, "Can you drive me to my friends tomorrow?" My oldest said, "I need $40 for a concert." I said, "Do you guys know what day it is?" They just stared like I was being weird. My wife snapped, "Don't start," and went upstairs and shut the bedroom door. I laid there that night staring at the ceiling, feeling stupid for expecting anything. The next morning I saw the restaurant bag in the trash, folded like it meant nothing. I didn't touch it. There was even a receipt with my wife's name on it and 3 desserts I never got to taste. At dinner the girls acted normal, talking about facials and nails, and nobody said the words out loud. When I asked, "Did you forget yesterday?" my wife said, "Can you not ruin the week?" Wednesday was my birthday. I woke up thinking maybe they'd fix it. I walked into the kitchen and my wife was making breakfast for the girls. There were 3 plates, none for me. She didn't even look up. I said, "It's my birthday." She said, "Mm-hmm," and kept cooking. I just stood there, waiting. The girls grabbed their food and rushed out. One called back, "Don't forget my ride after practice." That evening I tried again. I said, "Can we go out to dinner?" She said, "I'm tired." I said, "Okay, let's order in." She said, "We're not hungry." I said, "Can we just watch a movie together?" The girls said they were busy. Then they sat on the couch scrolling for hours. I put a movie on anyway. Nobody joined. When I went to bed, my wife was still on her phone. No happy birthday. Not from her, not from any of the girls. Thursday night I was in bed, wide awake, just staring. My wife rolled over and said in this annoyed voice, "Oh, your birthday was the other day. I guess you expect intimacy now." Something in me cracked. I said, "No, I don't expect anything anymore." She sat up. "What is that supposed to mean?" So I asked her, "When was the last time you kissed me?" She shrugged. "When was the last time you told me you love me?" She sighed. "When was our last real date?" She said, "You're being unfair." That word set me off. My voice shook, then it got loud. I said, "Unfair? You ignored Father's Day. You ignored my birthday. You took the girls to my favorite restaurant without me and acted like it was normal. I work and I give, and you can't even look at me and say 2 words." She said, "Why are you bringing this up out of nowhere?" I said, "Out of nowhere? I've been trying to talk for months. You keep shutting me down." She said, "I didn't know you were serious. I didn't know it was that big a deal." I wiped my face and said, "If you want to keep pretending I don't exist, fine. You don't have to pretend anymore." Then I got up. I pulled on jeans, grabbed my keys and wallet, and walked down the hall. Nobody came out. Nobody asked where I was going. At 11:47 p.m., I stepped outside and closed the door behind me. My phone buzzed once, and it was my wife texting, "I'm sorry you feel that way. We love you." Now they're saying I overreacted by leaving at midnight. Was I wrong?